Okay, then that's a problem. So we were having an audio issue, unintentionally, FYI. I don't want to have that. So, this is the view we're gonna have here for a bit, and that is straight up because the Starlink, the SpaceX feed, which is what I'm gonna use, because that's what I like to use for this stuff, does like I like to use the official feed, doesn't start until like 11 minutes before launch. Now, I do know other small, like not, SpaceX feeds start before that. For instance, I know the NASA spaceflight feed starts at 7 o'clock, so like 10 minutes. And I suppose I could use that one. I'm not going to, though. Because I have no reason to. But I think while I have this time, I'm going to talk about I'm going to talk about, the episode I'm currently working on for Space Stuff by Teenage Astronaut. That's what I'm going to work on. Because I don't have much to talk about. So yeah, I'm currently working on the second episode of Season 2 of Space Stuff by Teenage Astronaut. What I'm working on is the SLS episode. So you remember, if you watched it, the first episode of Season 2, the season premiere, was about Constellation, and how that was about, trying to get to the moon and Mars and all this stuff, and how it got canceled, and why it got canceled, and all of that kind of stuff. So that is what happened with that, but that's not how everything goes. So, just no. But we are waiting on a bunch of stuff to happen. For instance, I'm waiting on me to get enough energy to start scripting it, really. Because I've been doing research for a while now. I started doing research for it, actually, before I even recorded part 1 of it. So it's not like I just randomly decided to, do it. But, people do that. That's what happens. But yeah, so the SpaceX feed goes live in 37 minutes, which is not fun. But you can't, beggars can't be winners. Well, no, beggars can't be choosers. That's how that term goes. But yeah, we're just gonna wait. I'd love to play some feed or something for ya, but we don't got any. So we don't get any feed at all for some time. But, yeah. I suppose you could say yay. Not really yay though, is it? So, fine. I am gonna still keep looking for Starlink feeds and stuff like that. I think I'm gonna play the mission control audio for a bit. That there's no sound on it. So they're not really saying anything right now. So, yay. I would like to see the rocket though. And something funny about that. Come on, it's gotta be here somehow. Why don't we just search Starlink launch live? Just to see if I can get footage of the rocket. Oh, this might be one.
What's the future of cooking?
Sous vide.
The CV.
Currently
Meet
working on
sous vide.
mission to near global coverage of the populated world in 2021.
Oh, this is
If you're interested in service, we recently started taking orders on a first-come, first-served basis. To reserve your spot in line, you can now put down a $99 deposit that's fully refundable. Head over to Starlink.com for more information. With our team's go for launch, Falcon 9 started loading propellants at T-minus 35 minutes, and at T-minus 11 minutes, currently all systems are green for an on-time liftoff at 10:59 p.m. Eastern Time.
Yeah,
With that, let's take a closer...
That's from back in early November. And also, if you remember, I planned on, instead of doing this one, streaming the, the Togsat 5B launch. So that kind of got scrapped because my parents decided to go and watch Spider-Man No Way Home tonight, even though I told them that I had stuff to do. But, nope. That's that. No more of that. So instead we're going to do this launch, because it just by chance got pushed back to 7:40. So that's actually kind of lucky. I just want footage of the rocket right now. Like, that's all I want. That's one from the 2nd of December. Like, I just don't see anything. That was my stream. But no, we're waiting for this to exist. So, how's your guys' days been? Because it's an early morning for me, actually. It's currently 7 in the morning, just about. Oh, this is going to be the 11th flight of a booster. That's going to be cool. Kind of excited for that. But yeah, so we are going to stream this, obviously. What I am going to do is wait. I think I'm actually, even though I don't really want to, I'm going to have no volume to show the NSF footage until the SpaceX footage comes live. Because I want to do that, just to have footage. For you all, because don't want it to be empty. So, it's gonna be fun. But, I don't even know what to do. Because, but, gonna sit here and wait for it to start up. I have been a little bit under the weather lately. Like, and I say lately, I mean like today. Pretty sure that I ate some food last night that my stomach was not happy about. Which happens a lot, actually. But I'm actually doing pretty good. It's crazy. Like, I set up a bunch of, like, today I'm gonna be streaming 2 times in like I'm streaming twice in like 2-3 hours. Like it's what I do. So I'm doing this stream for this launch, and then at like 9:30, I'm gonna be doing the stream for the fine. I'm gonna be doing the Space Stuff live stream, the first ever of that kind of new show I'm doing. Well, it's basically kind of a live version of Space Stuff by Teenage Astronaut. And it's basically gonna be like what I did in season 1, where I explained like what happened that week. But I'm gonna be doing it live, and the reason I'm gonna be doing it live is so that as I'm talking about it, if people have questions, if I know the answer, I can answer them. It's basically gonna be NSF live, but with me, because mainly I've been wanting to do a live show for a while, because I enjoy live shows. By the way, just to do some plugs, if you haven't already, click the subscribe button. I definitely like that, because I don't have that many subscribers, and I have friends at school that are subscribers, and feeling a subscriber, other than that, not really anyone at all. But also, I just enjoy this. So yeah, that. You can follow my Twitter. That's not in the description anymore, but it's just Teenage Astronaut on Twitter. And you can follow my Reddit. Actually, it's the same thing. It's Teenage Astronaut. And, what else? Ooh, and also I have a Twitch. Not now. I've had a Twitch for a while. But I do have a Twitch. It is I Am Flipple. I also have a gaming YouTube channel. I Am Flipple. I do those two things whenever I can, because keep in mind, for YouTube stuff, this is my top priority. Because, this is what I enjoy doing. And this is like my big main thing. But, I do what I can. I enjoy it because I enjoy playing video games. So, yeah, that's me in a nutshell. But also, I do know I have been actually slowly getting like more and more people that weren't here in the beginning when I started. So for my new people, hi, I'm Joe. For instance, the last time I did a launch stream for Inspiration 4, I had 150. Currently had like 158 views, or something like that. Like, it is insane, and like absolutely insane. Yeah, it currently has 158 views. That one looks a lot nicer than this one does. I'm gonna fix that. Because I've done like nothing for this one, by the way. I also want to see if I change things. Yes. Okay. That's good. I wanted to make sure of that. Little adjust. So one of those launch mode. But I wanted to focus on this one though. Okay. Text. Starlink. SLC4E, isn't it? I think that's it. Yeah, 4E. Go ahead and make it small if I can. I'm doing a bunch of like background work right now before the launch. You know when I can do that. I'm gonna put that in there. We do be looking very nice. So like I'm gonna like go like black screen here and there because I'm setting up another scene that I probably should have set up before I started streaming. Next time I'm having those no. So that one works. Why doesn't? gonna go back to this one, which has a not working camera. I don't know why. This one still doesn't work though. Why does this need to be so complicated? Like, why does it need to be so complicated? Like, so angrifying. It's like, I didn't even do anything. There we go. We have now entered launch mode. Got a little rocket in there. That's cool. Still no audio from it though. There's a little rocket in there. So, we are now getting closer and closer to today's launch. Last time I checked, we were currently somewhat close to T-minus 15 minutes. Or no. Yeah. It's set to launch at 7:41. We should be good. Let me just check something real quick. Yep. Yes, we are still good. Still set to launch at 7:41. So, yay. So we're just gonna get rid of that. So, how have you been today? According to YouTube, my audio bitrate's a little low, but I don't think that's so true. I wish that I could let you know one of my other channels I've been showing by now. So I'm going to be keeping an eye on the NSF one. Because once that goes live, I'm gonna pull it over to the main screen, so I have footage of the rocket, and I'll either use it all the way through, or I'll use it until SpaceX goes live. I'm gonna say put it on track, because I like to source people, especially if I like them. Which I do in this case, because I'm actually a member of NASA spaceflight. Like I'm a NASA spaceflight member on my normal YouTube channel, like my more like my main account on YouTube, where like the account I use to watch all my stuff. Because I don't do that with this one. So we're currently kind of just in a state of limbo waiting for the first stuff I'm going to use to go live, because in about 14 minutes, the SpaceX footage is going to go live. And when that goes live, I'm going to, switch over to that. Which I'm excited for. Definitely. I'm also hungry. I'm excited for this. I'm excited for this launch. I'm also excited for it to be over. Because A, 11th flight. B, I'm honestly hungry. And I would like to go and eat breakfast, but I ain't missing anything. I ain't leaving my stream unattended. Basically. But yeah. So. Season 2, Episode 2, I currently have set to come out on December 23rd, Christmas Eve. Not planned, FYI. I didn't plan it to go the same day as JWST or the same day as Christmas. Because I remember, I said in the video, I originally had it planned for December 15th. Which was actually a couple of days ago. But it didn't for a number of reasons. One of them being that I was in like the last stretch of school for this year. So I didn't want to deal with it on top of a bunch of other stuff. Not for the school year for 2021. I'm on Christmas break now. But that was fun. I had space flights less than half a life. So they said they shall be starting shortly, so. Excited for that. Pretty sure this booster is the first booster to join 10th flight. That was a while ago. I remember I put that in an SSPTA episode. That was a long time ago. I'm excited for them to start. So, I am all over the place. Obviously, something keeps flashing on the screen and going away. That's because I'm working on stuff in the background. Just like that. Oh, dude, I'm gonna read the 400, like. But I'm just still waiting for them to go. I remember the first time I actually technically tried to stream launch was actually back with SN11 when it was one of its scrubbed attempts. Like, and it never really got anywhere. And I started streaming it, and I got bored. So I stopped streaming it. Because I got bored of just sitting there for hours and hours and hours and hours, Mainly because I just wanted to watch the NSF stream that I was streaming. I didn't really want to just stream it and talk about it over and over and over again. So I stopped doing that, but obviously now I've changed. Do I still plan on doing Starship launches? Yes. I definitely want to do 420. I'm definitely going to launch 420 because that I'm excited for. I also actually, only this month, about 10 days ago actually, hit an anniversary for spaceflight for me. Actually, no, 11 days ago. Because in my books, I became a space fan on December 7th, 2020. I was not it wasn't, I need to explain this better. Not like I, just got, I found out about, all this rocketry stuff by then. Because I'd had, snippets of it before, earlier in life, so to speak. Really deeply into space, and I kind of attracted out of it. For instance, the most recent time for my current one was in 2019, right before COVID. I was super into space, playing Call of Space program a lot, watching Everyday Astronaut a lot, all of that stuff. And then I kind of got off that. And then SNA, the way I used to serial numbers and all that stuff for this stuff is, I know some people will do they'll do ship for everything. What I do is from SN8 to SN15, I call them SNs. Because as the time of their missions, that's what they will, SN. But anything after that is ship. So for instance, I call ship 16, ship 16. But I would call it SN15, SN15. And that's what I do. And I call, ship 20 and booster 4 and booster 2 and booster 6 and booster 5, all of those. That's what I do. And I know it's not normal. I don't think it's normal anyways. It might be. I don't know. But what I do know is that that's not normal. Not a lot of people do that. But details. It was SN8 had its first flight attempt as for me on December 7th. And it got scrubbed seconds before launch. It sucked. I remember that. But that day, it's actually an interesting story if I got into my current one that I don't think is ever gonna end. Because by this point, I've been in it for more than a year, and I don't think I'm going out of it. I've never had more interest in space than I do right now. And it's going up all the time. I'm getting into more aspects about space. I'm getting into space books, not just space videos. And, movies, and, doing stuff like this, and, articles, and, my phone is to the point, it starts telling me about space stuff when it happens, I already know about it. Just stuff like that. And I remember, it's a funny story, December 7th, 2020, not 2021 yet, I was in a Zoom class, and I was bored out of my mind. I think it was science class, and I was bored. I hated virtual school. And so I'm just bored, and I'm sitting there, and I'm just scrolling through YouTube. Literally just scrolling through YouTube. Because I just want to watch something to watch. And I went in to a video. What was that actually? It was a Lab Padre video. Was it? No. It was Everyday Astronaut. Because it's something especially I watched for a while. And it said, SpaceX Starship SN8 12-kilometer flight test. Oh, I remember that. That's flying already? That seems weird. Because, by the way, this is before I got really into space stuff. So, I look into it, the stream hasn't started yet, but someone says in the chat. Oh, boy. That doesn't look good. Oh, boy. That doesn't fill me with joy. The NSF streamers went private. Yeah. Gone. Not good. That makes me wonder if it got pushed back a lot. Because that's what happens with that. No? I'm gonna check Twitter. No. The way they shoot was 30 minutes ago, saying T-minus 30 minutes. No, not 30. It was 14 minutes. I was in T-minus 30 minutes. Blah. That kills me. That went private. But yeah, back to the service. So like, yeah, they've gone live on NSF. So I'm like, oh, I want more of that, and it's live, so I get to see this thing. So I go over and I look at it, and it's DOS and I think Christy. Like, and I was like watching that and I was enjoying it. Like, I really began to enjoy it, and I spent like my entire day watching that stream. Like, it was insane. And honestly, I don't know if I would still. Oh, what's this? I don't know if I would still do it. I don't think I have audio on this one yet. So, yeah, that's how that worked. Like, I got really into it, and also the SpaceX stream is starting up now. So I have it currently just kind of sitting here. Because, I want to be ready for that. And like, when that starts up, we're going to really enter the final shreds, I call it. So, we all entering some fun here soon. But, yeah, I got into it, and I got really into it, and then, they say, well, got scrubbed, we'll be doing it again tomorrow at the time. So the next day, I wake up, and I wake up early, I wake up like 5 o'clock, and I rush downstairs to start watching the stream, and I watched every single Starship stream they did after that. Until, like, after SN15. So, like, that was a fun experience. Waking up early and, like, doing all that stuff. But I actually did miss one Starship launch. And that was SN11. I didn't mean to. It was a total accident. But, like, what happened was I slept in that day because my alarm didn't go off for it, so I missed it. I didn't like that, but I got to deal with it. And I remember at first, it was like, I don't know how I worded that way, but I remember reading, Everyday Astronaut's Flight, Everyday Astronaut stream title, which now said, Starship SN11 explodes. Like, explodes something. And I'm like, what, it exploded on the pad? Because I thought it had launched. Because keep in mind, most of the Starship launches happened in the afternoon or the evening. So when this one random one goes on in the morning, I'm completely shocked. So I clicked it expecting it to have exploded on the pad. And no, it didn't. It flew. And then it did what it did. Oh, wait. There was more. The SpaceX stream has begun.
10, 9, 8,
Side booster ignition.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
So I am going to apply my headphones now. Because I want to listen to the stream. And to do that,
Hello, it's
does
Saturday,
require
December 18th, and you're looking at a live view of Falcon 9 as it awaits its 4:41 a.m. Pacific Time launch from Space Launch Complex 4E at Vandenberg Space Force Base off the coast of California. My name is Yomezo, and I'm a propulsion engineer here at SpaceX, joining you from our headquarters about 150 miles south of the launch site. Thank you for joining us for our 34th launch of Starlink and our final Starlink mission for the year. Looking back, 2021 was a really exciting year for Starlink. We deployed more than 800 satellites to low Earth orbit and connected over 100,000 customers around the globe in more than 20 countries and regions, and still counting. If you've been following Starlink development, then you'll know that Starlink is a constellation of multiple satellites that orbit the planet at about 550 kilometers and have the potential to service the entire globe. Because Starlink does not rely on traditional ground infrastructure, It
I
is
wouldn't
ideally
enjoy it
suited
if
for
I could
areas of the
go to my
globe where
settings. That would
connectivity
change
has
to an
typically
audio
been a challenge or non-existent, such as rural or remote communities. Today's launch will send 52 Starlink satellites into low Earth orbit, which brings us one step closer to near global coverage of the populated world. A bit later in the webcast, we'll share a progress update on the Pakanjicum tribe, which has been using Starlink in a remote part of Canada over the last year. The latest weather forecast is favorable for liftoff. The vehicle, satellites, weather, and range are all looking good for an on-time
Right now,
liftoff just a few minutes from now. Take a closer look at the rocket on your screen. You're looking at a live view of Falcon 9. The two-stage rocket stands 70 meters tall. That's greater than the wingspan of a 747 aircraft. Now, the bottom two-thirds of the vehicle is the first stage. Its job is to
So,
the vehicle through the Earth's atmosphere.
that's what I'm gonna do.
With the help of the
Is I'm gonna have the audio nice and low for a while. But that's what we're gonna do here. We're gonna we got T minus 9 minutes and 55 seconds. Yes. I remember when Osicely moved over there, I was like, because Osicely is like a pinnacle of my existence. Like, I like it a lot. I like its name. But we are entering the final stretches, T minus 10 minutes now, and what I'm going to do is at T minus 1 minute, I'm going to switch my audio from being mainly me to mainly the feed. So, you can get a beautiful sound of the Mullen engine. So, yeah, I should just mention it. Yeah, so the reason they're doing these from Vandenberg now, I remember they, like all the previous one, most of this year, they were all launching out of Kennedy. And so launching out of here because they're now heavily focusing on a polar orbit so that they can finish the constellation. So, to do that, they have to launch out of Vandy, because out of Kennedy, they can't do that. Because at Kennedy, you have this issue of basically, due to the fact that, in the U.S. we don't like flying over our own people, you can only really go out east. So you suppose you can do with they do sometimes, when they go out east and then they turn, as they're going out, they go up and then they turn this way. And by doing that, you do get a good thing. And that means that, you can't really enter a polar orbit. But out of Vandenberg, you basically can. Because it's polar launched. Most of the time. Firefly, for some reason, decided to, not do that and have a retrograde orbit. So that was interesting. But that's interesting though, so. Stream health. Stream is healthy, yeah. So, we are at T minus 7 minutes. I just realized you guys can't see anything on the bottom. So that's just great. So I think what I am going to do here actually so they do have a background opportunity for tomorrow, apparently. That's not what I wanted, though. I told it to go vertical, and it's like, I'm gonna do this thing. So you got move that over there because I want you to be able to see the bottom stuff. So now they're talking about how they connected a remote community in Canada to the Starlink stuff because they started doing polar orbits. So you haven't. We are also approaching T-minus 5 minutes now, so we are very much getting closer to this. My view rate is actually going up, but so we are actually approaching strong back retract. Strong back retract. That's an interesting word to say. And if you don't know what that is, what happens is the claw on the strong back right there, like pulls, like retracts almost, and then the strong back actually moves back a little bit. Not like all the way, because all it is doing is pulling back to just kind of get it out of the way a little bit. Then what will happen is that actually at liftoff, it'll pull itself back all the way, and then Falcon 9 will lift off. Also, a small little fun fact about this specific launch site, SLC-4E, is they actually got this launch site. This is actually the first launch site, like, before one they had in the Pacific. And the reason for that is they actually got this one before the first flight. They meant to fly out of this, and that's going through, but just by chance, there was a Titan rocket set to launch not that far away, and it was a brand new rocket that had never flown. The Air Force was just like, yeah, we're gonna have this rocket over here that's itself expensive. Oh, strong back retract. That and also has a $1 billion-something satellite, so it's super expensive. And look at the gases just falling down. Oh, that looks really cool. And it has like venting all over the place. Like, oh, the Falcon 9 looks awesome. And what's gonna happen? And what happened was, because of that, they needed to launch. Like, if they hadn't launched, if they hadn't got another launch site, SpaceX wouldn't be around to. They were really sure if they weren't able to launch it, go bankrupt. So they decided to just go out and buy they didn't even buy it. They just went out to a random place in the middle of nowhere of the Pacific on a military base that was used for nuclear testing once upon a time, and just went out there. And because of that, they had that one where they launched all of the Falcon 1s. Now they don't launch out there anymore. I don't even know that launch site still exists. But yeah, we are actually now at T-minus 2 minutes and 30 seconds. We're getting close to me being able to eat breakfast. Look at upper vents, they're turning off and on again. That looks really cool. Little almost train horns. And you also have the vapors falling down the sides of it. That also really looks cool. I've said this a lot. I don't normally watch the feed like this. Commonly I watch NSF feed because I like NSF a lot. But some people do, some people do. So I am pretty sure they have finished fueling the vehicle now. We are approaching T-minus 1 minute and 30 seconds. So here in about 30 seconds, I am going to switch the audios so that the audio on... Oh, look at strong back. So the audio on the footage is much more than I am. Because that's what I want to do. Because Yeah, so. Because that's just. I want you to be able to hear them more than you hear me, basically. And that's actually time to do that. So we're going to ramp this audio up, ramp this audio down, and there we go.
Falcon 9 is in startup.
Falcon 9 is in startup. Launch director will give that final go here shortly.
Go for launch.
Launch director has given that final go for launch. All systems are looking good. Let's listen into the terminal count and watch as Falcon 9 takes our 52 Starlink satellites to orbit.
T-minus 30.
The stream is about 20 seconds behind. And that's not my fault, by the way.
Stage
That's
1
YouTube
chamber
being
pressures
YouTube.
are nominal.
It's completely like I have an excellent connection kind of shit. So, yeah. But we are at T-minus 10 seconds.
10,
No.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Ignition. Liftoff of the Falcon 9. Go Starlink.
Angle's pushing down right.
Stage 1 chamber pressures are nominal.
Absolutely beautiful. Ooh, look at that infrared camera. That's cool.
Falcon 9 has successfully lifted off from Vandenberg Space Force Base, carrying our stack of
Nominal
52
power and telemetry.
Starlink satellites to orbit. Moments ago, we throttled the engines down in preparation for max Q, or maximum aerodynamic pressure, which we should see in just a few seconds.
So, Falcon Susang just said that. It's currently coming up on maximum aerodynamic pressure, or max Q. In fact, it's actually now in max Q. So, the largest amount of pressure on the vehicle has been passed.
First, we will have main engine cutoff, or MECO, followed by stage separation, and second, engine startup 1. Now, first, main engine cutoff, or MECO, is where all 9 of the M1B engines shut off to slow the stage down in preparation for stage separation. This is where the first stage and the second stage separate, with stage 1 starting to make its way back down to Earth for landing, while stage 2 continues on its journey to orbit. Now, the third event is second engine startup 1, and this is where that single MVAC engine on the
Yeah.
second stage
So there will be 3 events in rapid succession. If you heard them, you heard them. If you didn't, you didn't. So I'm going to say it again. We look at the plumes expanding. But yeah, so they will have MECO, so management cutoff. Oh, look at that beautiful expansion. Oh, it's so beautiful. And then they'll have fairing, and then they'll have second engine ignition, and then they'll have fairing separation. No, MECO, yeah, right? I'm pretty sure. MECO, second stage ignition. No, MECO, stage separation, and then second stage ignition, all in a matter of seconds from one another. But we should have MECO. They've called MECO. Stage separation confirmed. I love watching the MVAC ignite. I love it. Because like a gas and then like ignites and then like the little strand comes off and then it just like slowly goes red. Love it.
main engine cutoff, and
Ooh, look at the Starlinks in there. Oh, whoa.
there you can see the fairing half
Okay.
off. We're flying our 52 Starlink satellites. We have had successful fairing
So, good.
Again, SpaceX has reflown Falcon fairing half since November of 2019.
So we've had a successful fairing deployment. And the next event is entry. In quite a while, actually. It will enter its entry, and so it'll have the entry one, which, as you know, is when it's basically fighting fire with fire. Because as it re-enters the atmosphere, it's gonna, if it starts getting hotter and hotter and hotter as we go through the atmosphere, and the atmosphere gets thicker, plasma starts developing around your vehicle. So what they do is they light the engines, and due to the flame, basically, it diverts that plasma due to the liquid, basically, of the fire. So it shoots, so it's, basically, you're fighting fire with fire. And if you remember B-1049, its landing failure, I still think it actually burned up on entry. Because if you never see it on the feed. And so I think it just, they never confirmed the entry burn either. So I think it burned up on entry. Or it failed its entry burn, or something like that. The thing is legitimately going, 10,000, wait, that doesn't seem right. Is that 10,000 kilometers an hour, or is that 10 kilometers an hour? Because I feel like 10,000 kilometers an hour is really fast. Because that's 1,000,000 meters a second. But so what's gonna happen is you're gonna have the entry burn, and then a little bit later you're gonna have the landing burn, where the rocket will, or the B-1051 will land on, of course, I Still Love You, off the coast of California, and then you'll have, not that long after that, you will have Seagull 1, which is either stage engine cutoff or second engine cutoff. But basically, the MVAC, the thing you see right now, will cut off for a little bit, and then they'll enter a coast period. And I might stream that, I might not. I probably won't. I'll probably end my stream after that. And they'll enter this coast period, and then they will, then about, I think it's about half an hour later, they'll reignite the engine. They'll reignite the engine, and the engine will do a very short burn, probably. And then it's going to cut off, and then they will deploy the Starlink Satellites. If you want to see that, I would recommend keeping an eye on Twitter, because SpaceX releases every single milestone on Twitter for this stuff. And about milestones, we are now approaching the entry burn. And any second now. Engine burn. Let's go. Beautiful. Beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. Both vehicles are doing good. Entry burn shutdown. So, when you do this, because you can't always see the rocket, and look at the plasma. I was talking about that plasma oil. Look at it in the grid fence here. So the flight termination now saved. And even though, even if you can't physically see it, which you can't now, and for a while now they've had the stage 1 telemetry on screen. So we can still see how it's doing. Yeah, I think that's meters a second. So the landing burn we're now coming up on, and this will be the burn you use to land the vehicle. And if it doesn't do this perfectly, it will actually begin to go back up and then crash. And landing burn has begun. This is landing links are deployed. Where is it? It's definitely coming in. You can see it on the deck. Oh, there it is. And landing. And Seco 1. Nominal brilliance version. Oh, actually, it's off the coast of Mexico. So we will not. So we are now basically have entered the coast phase. And we'll be in this phase technically for about 50 minutes. Because they have to wait until they get signal from it at a different station. So, this is where I'm ending my stream. Because I ain't still doing this. So I hope everybody, I've enjoyed this launch. I hope you enjoyed the stream. I will see you actually later today. Not even that later today. I will see all of you guys in about an hour and a half for Space Stuff Live. But that has been all for me. I will see you all in an hour. This is the Teenage Astronaut, signing off.